Hi ladies, hope you're well. And we're on a day 20. We have a beautiful weather here in Seattle. It seems to be raining in the morning a little bit, and then it gets better and better in the afternoon and sunny day. So I'm really enjoying that, and being outside is great. So we are now in week 4. We are now heading 4 and 5 weeks, and those 2 weeks I'm going to be using to really give you some other insights and different things I've learned about the mind, the behavior, and different tools that I've been taught to use and so on to get myself to know myself better as well. And so one of the tools I want to share with you, and again, it's one from the trainings that I've been to with Airbus. It's called Gallup Strength Finder. And I will post the link below the video so that you can actually go on the website and check it out. So you can purchase it yourself. It's only about $20 or 20 euros. I can't remember the price, but it's really, really cheap for like a short report. But it's one of the tools that I thought gave me the most and best feedback. So I know there's a lot of strength tools out there that you probably know as well, but with this one I was really, really surprised, and maybe it helped me to understand myself so much better. And the good advantage of that is it's not just giving you the strengths that you are and says, okay, you're like this, you're like that, but it's actually telling you why you have them, why you're behaving certain ways, and also makes you feel appreciate yourself for those strengths. It doesn't say that they are your weaknesses and you need to work on, but it's actually telling you how you can utilize your strengths in a better way, or in that way, and continue working on your strengths to use them in your advantage, let's say, to your advantage. And then obviously that a couple of situations that you need to be careful of, and it tells you, what you should be doing to try to avoid this type of situations. So it's more different direction rather than saying, okay, this is what you have and what you need to improve, but it's really this is what you have, and continue using them in this way, and this is what makes you special, right? And these 2 weeks I really want to speak about, us being special and how we can acknowledge ourselves for being special and being unique rather than trying to be someone else. So for me, I had so it's a test in about it's quite a lot of kind of questions. It's a question, and you have to say if you totally agree with it, totally disagree, but there's also 2 different answers, and you kind of go to one or to the other. You only have 20 seconds per question, and I think it took me about 35 minutes to do it, so there was quite a lot. I can't remember if it was over 100 or even 200 of them in total, but it's pretty quick. You go through that, and right at the end it gives you the report, and it's out of 35 or 36 strength. It will show you the top 5 that you have that describe you. And when I read it, and I also read it to my husband, he said, this is just like you. How weird is that? This is so, so true. And so for me, the first 3 that stuck in my mind was the one that I really appreciate and like to have feedback, recognition. So I function very well if I do receive feedback, constructive feedback, obviously as well. But also I want to be seen as a professional, as a person who's knows well something, and I want to be recognized that way, and I constantly strive, and that's why I always keep setting myself goals to get another accreditation, another certificate, another something else, because that's kind of feeds my need of recognition. Yeah. And probably you've noticed that too, but I always like having that feedback, whatever it is that I can work with. For me, it's very difficult if I have 0 feedback, because then I don't know if it's the right way, and it also makes me feel like, okay, is it what I'm doing is right or not? And the positive thing about it was it's something that I always want to strive to continue to improve and get better, and I also want to pull people with me to get to that level as well. And if they're not, then I do everything I can to help them to get to that level. But I also get frustrated if people cannot follow, or if something is blocking them to do that. So it's great to see that. But then the second one for me was really linked to this kind of drive, is that I also very quick react on certain things. I'm a really action taker. I cannot wait and check very long time and assess all the options. For me, is decision is made. This is what I'm going to do, and we're doing it. And so it said that the positive note for me was that I can drive people and I can refocus them back to the objective that we have if they start to deviate, and I drive to that goal and making sure that whatever needs to be done, we go to that goal. And so driving driver is kind of my objective, and that's why within 4 months we end up in Seattle and not in Japan because I just drive a lot quicker the actions that needs to be done. The risk is, of course, that sometimes I don't check all the options and I don't check all the risks before I jump. So for me, it's great to work with people who are a bit more analytical and who kind of make sure, before I fall or before we fall, we make sure that we, at least mitigate some of the risks. But so it's always good like that. And then the third one was, for me, it's the futuristic kind of aspect, that I always look in the future and I always plan things ahead. And it was so true for me because I kind of plan ahead the week, plan ahead the day, plan ahead the months, and I also need something to plan ahead too. And if there's no kind of goals I'm working towards or no kind of activities that are happening, that makes me really kind of depressed because I feel a bit like there's no structure and I really can't go anywhere, and why should I really be doing it? And so this is really the constant planning, looking ahead, looking future, building, getting new challenge, getting move on, so on. So I also notice that very quickly, if something has been achieved and I've done it, for me I lose a bit of interest in that, and I'm like, okay, that's done, what's next? So I always need that kind of next steps. So I recommend for you to do it because it's also linked to the way you react to certain people. If they are different, if you're in work and you're using certain you've got certain drive and certain characteristics, and people opposite you are different, then you can understand why you get sometimes frustrated if you're not getting what you want, because that strength finder really describes how you think, what are your goals, your objectives, what drives you, and what could be risks for you. So it's really, really great. So I would recommend it highly. Okay, let me know if you do want to try it, and if you did, let me know how it went, and I'm hoping that's going to help you in the future. Good luck. Bye.